what's going to happen now? The Nets know this season is cooked. They have not been good. They've not been good when Kyrie played. They're an under 500 team. The team is just not a talented team. You're talking about a team with two guys, and they're trying to figure out. They had a meeting with Ben Simmons so they could let him know they need more out of Ben Simmons than they need from everybody else. It's that kind of year. The Nets know this is not going to be our year. We tried it with KD and Kyrie. Now we just got to get out of it. So what's going to happen is this, and this is the message I would give to Kyrie if I'm the Nets. Listen, dude, can you make no news just for a couple of weeks so we can trade you? Just try not to make any news that's going to have people up in arms, and we can trade you in a couple of weeks and get you somewhere else. Can you do that? Can you go 5 days without blowing something up? Can you go just a few days without doing? I'm not saying change who you are, but just can you go a few days and we not have to wake up in the morning and go, this is what Kyrie said, this is what Kyrie did. Can you do that? Because then we can trade you. And here comes my big fat bold prediction. Kyrie does it because we know where he wants to go. And Kyrie will come back and play, and he'll be good because when Kyrie plays, he's still really good, right? He's still Kyrie Irving. He's going to come back, and he's going to not make headlines for a couple of weeks. And what's going to happen is two desperate teams are going to get together, the Nets and the Lakers, and they're going to find a way to trade Kyrie to the Lakers. Maybe it's Russell Westbrook leaving, going to the Nets. And oh, my goodness, look at Kevin Durant with Russell Westbrook. But more than likely it would be Russell Westbrook passing through Brooklyn to get to someplace else. But Kyrie Irving stays controversy-free for a couple of weeks, and he winds up a Laker. LeBron James has already stood up and said, I don't know why Kyrie's not playing. All right, he's a smart guy. He knows that there's very few people that will ride to the Lakers' rescue this year. There's nobody coming. There's no help in the draft. There's not. What are we going to do? Kyrie Irving is the one guy. He's the guy the Lakers had talked to the Nets about him before the season. They couldn't come up with a deal. Now the Nets are a little bit more motivated to move on from Kyrie Irving. Kyrie will get a fresh start with the Lakers. They will be press conferences, and LeBron and AD will stand up and say, we have his back, and Kyrie's here, and Kyrie's going to say, it's a new start for me. I want to win. I want to play basketball. And now you have added a point guard who, as long as he can stay on the floor, is going to give you a different look, and maybe things can turn out better for the Lakers. The desperation of the Nets and the desperation of the Lakers, and the Lakers want to do it sooner rather than later because you don't want to fall 50 games out of the playoffs. This will happen by Christmas, and by Christmas, Kyrie Irving is a Los Angeles Laker.
Ooh, I'd love it. I'd love to know what team is the throughput of Russell Westbrook is to come out the other side, because otherwise that means the Nets have to make a decision really fast of where Kevin Durant ends up, which we've talked about as well. And given all his comments in this latest interview, he's more or less just flipping everybody off again and reverberating and reissuing his declarations behind the scenes that were rumbled. Like, he wouldn't say it in a microphone, didn't say it on all of his social media accounts, the thing with the guy in the place. Which is why, this report, Jason, can we trust Adrian Wojnarowski anymore? Didn't we decide that now we had to take it? Did you verify it was actually him?
Well,
not an imposter, Woj?
No, I'm actually reading off the story that was published. So I'm not reading off of Twitter, where this is something that maybe it happened, maybe.
All right, so it's just the shadow website instead. No,
the shadow website.
Yeah,
it's a shadow site. Nobody knows if it's any good.
Well, exactly. Make sure it's got the lock on there if you're going to buy anything. But you look at what LeBron's had to say about Kyrie and getting him back out on the court, and he had been pretty quiet for a while on that, and it was one of the things you and I had discussed on the show quite a bit, was that week of silence from the Nets, from the NBA, and from LeBron and other leaders of the Players Association and just the leaders of the game. And then the condemnation of, linking to that. People use the word documentary way too loosely, but that piece of entertainment, let's just say it for that, that was consumed and disseminated, etc. And so now we get to this strange place of, Kyrie on the court, the numbers are good. right? Almost 27 points per game and usual rebound and assists. They're 4-3 without him thus far, but again, Kevin Durant pointing to the starters and saying, what am I supposed to do with this? Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos. That whole thing. But it's now the curiosity of where do you go? And yes, the Lakers, will they finally acquiesce and include another pick if that's what's going to make LeBron and this iteration of the Lakers more competitive and make everybody, quote, happy, i.e. the thirsty fans, media, honks, and pundits out there that want some kind of movement and have been going with the poison pen wherever they can. The quick Twitter fingers and 5,000-word missives in newspapers to talk about change. Because they did everything they could by propping up LeBron as one of the greatest Lakers ever, which still makes no sense. But it's just that idea of, for Kyrie Irving, do you trust that you're not getting the next step in whatever he's going to bring to bear this season? Right? Can he go a full season without missing extensive time or creating another piece of controversy that you've got to deal with and attend to? And do you have the stability of your organization to do that? If you're the Lakers, well, sure, because it's the same people that have made a bunch of bad decisions over a decade.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that I get what you're saying, but the fact the Lakers are so desperate, man. I mean, they are so desperate to get better. They're looking at 2-10, 3-12, 4-15, 5-20. They're desperate. They don't want to waste this year. What can they do? If they don't have to worry about moving a draft pick, they'll do whatever they can to get Kyrie Irving, to try to get something out of this season, and maybe the Lakers catch fire. I mean, like I said, it's desperate. It's a Hail Mary. But you're already at that point in the season for the Lakers where you kind of have to do it. And the Nets are even more motivated to move on from him than they were a little bit ago. And look, if the Lakers get Kyrie Irving, it doesn't work out. Okay, they're not like they're giving up a ton. It's not like they're going to say, "Hey, here's more first-round picks." It's okay. We tried, it didn't work, and Kyrie's not with the team anymore. Kyrie has to know that this is his last chance, because that's the other thing, is that he has to know this is his last chance in the National Basketball Association. Wherever he winds up and goes, this is it. This is his last chance to play and continue on his career and maybe get paid again, because right now, nobody's doing it. And his path back to the court is really fraught with landmine after landmine. So this is it. You get to where you want to go. Hopefully he understands that this is what I need to do, and this is where I need to be, and I got lucky in a decent situation. So now, yes, I'm going to go out and make sure I'm about basketball, and I'm not going to bring any unwanted attention to the Lakers, and I'm going to go out and show that this is what I want. Because at some point, you have to understand your career is at stake, right? And his entire career, he has put at stake because I hit like on a social media post to a movie that maybe I didn't even watch. And he's got to understand that that's how precious things are. And I hope he would. I mean, he's going to come back and play, and okay, and this is what it's about. It's supposed to get chances and understand and try to learn from things. But he's got to know that this is it. So from the Lakers, it's a gamble, but it's not a gamble that carries a lot of risk. It's almost a, well, why not, right? I mean, if you can get him, get him. And if he doesn't work out, you're no worse off than you were before. You still stink. You're not going anywhere. And we're going to wonder, did you just hand one of the best prospects in the last 25 years of the Pelicans because of that trade you made a few years ago? You're no worse off than you are now. So why not do it? I'm telling you, the desperation of the Lakers. Every now and then we do get desperate. The desperation of the Lakers is what's going to make this happen.
Well, but that's the larger question, though, Jason. And the way I framed it, just to circle it back, was the desperation seems to come from more the outside than inside. Right? They may feel it, but if they were truly desperate, they would have done it before the season. Right? It was almost defiant of, no, you're going to play with what you brought. As almost, saying, hey, LeBron, clutch sports, etc., that you're going to have to find a way on the court to make this work. And Anthony Davis, once again, when he's healthy, he's been fantastic. Problem is, what's his day-to-day? LeBron's already ailing. Westbrook has played overall pretty well. Is it the guy that you thought, that was there 5 years ago? No, he's not. But the fact that you put out a roster that's more or less trash, no disrespect to Matt Ryan and company, that they're still professional players, so I give them love. But relative to what else you're battling in the Western Conference, this is what you decided was good enough to go into the season with. So how desperate are you? Or are you just going to read your press clippings because fans and media members are desperate for something to happen? Shake it up, even if it's wrong.